Good morning, everyone. It is 7 o'clock here in Canyonland, USA.
Welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno, and we are here for the final night of the 54th BFI London Film Festival. And we are going out with a bang as Danny Boyle is here showcasing his new film, 127 Hours.
And this morning on the boulder, we have a very special guest, Aaron Ralston.
Oh gosh, it's a real pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Earlier today, we caught up with Danny Boyle at the press conference. Here's what he had to say. There's lots of bright colours in the film. Was that symbolic of the hope within it?
Yeah, well, it's certainly symbolic of Utah, where it's set and where we shot it, because it's like it's an incredible kind of, you know, you get this blue sky with these. I mean, it is in the middle of nowhere, but the thing we found when we got there, these plane trails. Every time you fly into LA or you fly to San Francisco or you go to Disneyland from, you know, you're one of those people up there. I mean, that was weird seeing that there's like thousands of people 25,000 feet above him, you know. That was one of the weird things, that blue sky with all those plane trails across it. We wanted it to be very vibrant looking. It is, obviously it looks like that anyway. But the weird thing about the colour was that we wanted it to, what we did, and I have to pay a lot of respect to the two cinematographers. We had two cinematographers on this, Anthony Dugmantle and Enrique Chadiak, who did all this movement with James that he's talking about in the canyon, which gives the film its physicality. But they also agreed, when we graded the film, not to grade it in the normal way you do films. The way they grade films, basically, the colour grader, they grade it wet. So it looks sexy, everything looks a bit sexy, the blacks look a bit, you know, if they're a bit liquidy. But we said no, because actually one of the things that's very difficult to do is suggest thirst. You know, I mean, obviously James acts it the whole time, but you can't dehydrate James because he'll kill him. You know, you can die after just, you know, you can't mess around. You can do weight loss, and James did all that, and like you can do weight gain and all that carbohydrate stuff. But with water, you've got to be very, very careful, because we've got lots of medical advice about that. So you've got to get him to do a lot of acting, a lot of lip work. His finest lip work is in this movie. And you've also got to find other ways of suggesting it. Obviously, you've got the bottle story, the whole story of the diminishing water in the bottle. But when we graded everything dry, and it doesn't look sexy, it looks dry then, because we wanted this whole environment to feel arid, that there was no moisture anywhere like that. So that's what we did in the grading, and it's a tribute to them that they took that risk. Because if you're after kind of, if you're after reviews in terms of cinematography, they all go for that slightly dark, sexy-looking, liquidy look, you know, which was inappropriate to us. So I'm very pleased that you pointed out how the allure of the film, colour-wise, even though there's something hopefully working on you subconsciously to make you feel that it's dry.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, you lost? I'm a guide. What'd he say?
See, I'm something of a big and hard hero.
All you have to remember is that everything will be okay.
Oh my God! Are you okay, Aaron?
Come on! You gotta come down here!
It's been nice knowing you, man. What made you want to adapt Aaron's story into a screenplay?
Well, first of all, it's an amazing survival story, but I think what really attracted the three of us is that it's more than that. On the surface, it seems like this extraordinary story of a guy who does an amazing thing and chops his own arm off to survive, but actually, it's got more layers than that. It's really about someone who's turned their back on society and his friends and his family, and it's this kind of invincible super athlete who doesn't need anyone. And of course, nature stops him in his tracks and goes, no, you can't do without people. And he comes out of the canyon a changed person. And it's sort of a universal story about the web of people that surround every single one of us and how we treat them and how we could possibly treat them better, you know.
I can do everything on my own.
See ya!
Bye. I don't think we figured in his day at all.
Hey there, Aaron.
Is it true you didn't tell anyone where you were going?
And what does James bring to the part of Aaron?
Everything. It's an extraordinary performance. I mean, it's a unique role in as much as he's in literally every single scene in the picture. And, you know, many actors could have chewed up the scenery with a role like that. And it's an incredibly nuanced and restrained and textured performance, apart from when the script calls for him to big it up a little bit. And he's just got that range, you know, that variation in what he can do, from the kind of stuff he did in Pineapple Express to very different work like Milk or the James Dean. So that's why he was the perfect actor for us, because he's got the range to create the variation that the story needs in order to be tolerable, really, given the restrictions of it. So it's a wonderful, wonderful performance.
Oops.
You know, you had trouble sort of raising funds for Slumdog Millionaire. Did you have the same problems this time around?
Well, this time around we sort of had a golden ticket, really. We knew that, and it enabled us to tell a riskier, to get a risky story off the ground.
This marks 24 hours of being stuck. I've been chipping away. More to keep warm than anything. I have about 150 milliliters of water left, which should keep me alive till tomorrow night, if I'm lucky. So that's it.
James, did you want to embrace Aaron's character with his mannerisms and who he was, or did you want to just capture his essence?
Well, I had to follow Danny's approach. You know, I really believe in listening to the director and having one master on a film. And Danny was the director. So I listened to his approach, and he wanted to use Aaron in pre-production extensively. And we met with him, and he walked us, took days just walking us through everything, showed us the real videos. But then Danny wanted the freedom during the filming to have our own experience. Because I think he realized, and I realized, that the most important part about this movie would be making the experience authentic. And the best way to do that is to have kind of an organic approach, so that we would have our own experience. Not slavishly trying to get every mannerism, but instead putting me through some of the paces so that it would come from the inside out.
Mom, Dad, I haven't appreciated you as I know that I could. I love you guys, and I'll always be with you.
How did you approach creating the score for this film of a man who's solitude, really, isn't he?
It had to actually create a universe in his mind. The soundtrack had to create a universe of other stuff. So when he goes out in his hallucination, his deja vu, and imagination, all this stuff. So the music actually had in fact, it was more challenging to do this without seeing the visuals. A person who's trapped but he has this universe within himself, which is great.
Do you have to kind of embody that yourself and put yourself in that situation?
I'm a person of solitude. Sometimes I just so I could really connect with it.
Well, what a fitting way to end what has been a superb 54th BFI London Film Festival 2010. I'm Claire Bueno, signing out for Premier Scene. We'll see you next time.
Don't give up, Aaron. Do not